Hi everyone. Good evening, guys. All of you. Are you audible, guys? Okay, great. So, guys, yesterday we discussed on roll up. So, how this roll up is working on single column. Okay, so we said here we can send multiple columns. We can send multiple columns, but which column is in the first position? So, based on that column wise only, your roll up is going to be performing your operations. Okay, now so that is called as the first column basis. It was performing operation to find out your subtotal as well as grand total. So this is what roll up syntax. But whereas come to whenever you want to to find out the subtotal as well as producing the grand total on multiple columns wise, do you want to do that kind of operations? Okay, so there we are using what now, cube. Okay, now so the cube is going to be multiple columns, but now how it was just observed here, syntax for cube. So cube also same like this, the same scenario, just a little bit changes here. In place of this, I'm just passing cube. But in this cube, guys, in this cube, once you want to see these columns, whatever you passing here, multiple columns, or else how many number of columns are you passing here, that each and every column, is going to be operational column. So that means how many columns are you passing here? How many columns are you passing here? Based on this all columns. Okay, na? So based on all columns, it was finding, okay, finding subtotal and grand total, guys. Subtotal and grand total. So how many columns you're passing here, that each and every column wise finding subtotal and producing grand total Okay, now so that is what we called as a cube. And let you see the cube how it was working. Let observe. Okay, now let you see. I'm just passing here. So DEPT number star EMP by cube of a single column DEPT number. And once you have to see it here, what happened, guys, here. So it was showing the grand total first, and that grand total will be divided into subtotals. So we have 3, 5, 6. These are subtotal, and this is what we called as, guys, here grand total. This is what we call as here grand total. Okay, so now if you want to display these things into particular order, okay, then you have to use here. So what I want to use, order by and department number to execute it now. So it is a single column operation we did here. So single column operation is 10. Okay, 3, 5, 6. These are subtotals of department numbers wise, and 14 is a grand total. And this is one column, so we don't have any confusion to take it here. But now in the second column, let you see multiple columns I'm passing now. So DEPT number, okay, job from EMP, okay, from EMP, and now, okay, sorry, I just missed here. Select DEPT number, comma job, comma we are passing count of star from EMP table, and I'm using here group by and cube class of the multiple columns I'm passing DEPT number and job. So here carefully observe, guys. Here, along with my cube, I'm passing here multiple columns now, and to execute this one and see what it was happening. and these are some information is displayed here. But if you want to display in systematical, that means in sorting order, so have to use order by and the DEPT number. If anyone, you can take the number to execute it now, then you can see. And carefully observe guys here, carefully observe. So how it was going to be displaying means, see, this is department number 10 and 10th department, these are whatever it was there, these are called as the subtotals. So this is 10th department subtotal. Okay, this is 20th department subtotal. This is 20th department subtotal. This is 30th department subtotal. So these are department numbers. So it means year 3 and year 5 and year 6. So called as these are called as subtotal. These are called as subtotal based on which column here, department number column wise. Okay, now the next one is what now? Can you see? Analyst 2, clerk 4, managers 3, president 1, and salesman's 4. So here, this part, whatever it was there, guys, here, these are also called as a subtotals. These are also called as a subtotal, but this is to finding subtotal based on which column here, job column. So that means department number column wise subtotals these are, and the below whatever it was there here 2, whatever it was there year 4, whatever it was there year 3, whatever it was there year 1 and 4. So these are also subtotals, but these subtotals based on which column, job column, and these subtotals are based on which column, department number column. And whatever the finally is there here, the 14, so this 14 is called as what now, grand total. This 14 is called as what now, grand total. Okay na? So this is cube advantage guys. This is cube advantage. So the cube advantage is what now guys here, how many columns are you passing along with cube clause, that each and every column wise finding subtotal and producing, finally producing grand total. So this is multiple columns wise we need to find out, and multiple columns wise it will be performing operation. But roll up is not like that. Roll up is only single column, and that too first position column, whatever it was given, based on that column only it was finding subtotal and grand total. So this is what the differences between your subtotal as well as a grand total. Okay now, right? And here carefully observe guys here. One more, these are roll up and cube differences, understand na? Right. Now later you can see here whatever it was having some, see, this is subtotal row, and this is subtotal row, and this is also subtotal row. Okay, and here we have some nulls are there here, null, null, and null, and you're also having nulls. So now suppose wherever nulls are there, so in place of that nulls, I need to give some identity here. So there we can use, okay, so grouping underscore ID function is there. So grouping underscore ID function, this function, why we want to use means, okay, it is a predefined function guys. It is a predefined function. Okay, now it is used predefined function. So it is used, okay, to, it is used more to provide more compact way, to provide more compact way to identify subtotal rows and grand total row. Okay, grand total row in the result. Okay, so this is what the grouping ID. So grouping ID is a one of the predefined function, and this function when you want to use this function when you want to use this function when you want to use means, so whenever we are going to be, okay, provide more compact way means more easy manner, that means easily understandable way or easily identified way. Yes or no? So more compactable way, we need to find out subtotal rows and grand total rows. For example, now this is output. In this output, what happened, guys? Some people are getting confused here. Why they confused means, here 1113, 2215, 1146, 24314, 40. So these are some numbers are there here. Some people are getting confusing in these counting of numbers, which are these counting of numbers, which are subtotal, which are grand total. The confusion was there. Okay, now the people will be making confusion. So when I just leave it now, if you want to carefully identify, there is no confusion actually. If you want to carefully identify your null representations, identify na. So 10th department number of people, 20th department number of people, 30th department number of people, and these are analyst, clerk, and these are all a clear cut information is there. But even though some people are getting confusion here, so which is one is a subtotal or not, so three is a subtotal. So this kind of confusion whenever it was having here, so then you can use what now, grouping ID function. So this grouping ID function purpose is what now means, it's not mandatory to use it. It just identify. It's a very easily the users can identify which is my subtotal row, which is my grand total row. That easily identification purpose only this grouping ID function will be used. Understand my point now? So, and these IDs, how it was taking means, okay, ID number one, suppose your ID number, okay, one is there, this ID number one is represented, okay, to represent, okay, subtotal, okay, subtotal of first grouping column. Okay, it was showing first grouping column. Okay, now if ID number is 2, suppose ID number is 2, then it is represented, to represent subtotal of second grouping column, to represent a second grouping column. Okay. So here in my example, let you identify here how many grouping columns are there, guys? Can you tell me how many grouping columns are there here? How many grouping columns I'm using? Come on, guys. Okay, 2. So here two grouping columns. One is a department number is a one grouping column. One is a job column is a grouping column. Yes or no? So first grouping column ID number showing 1. First grouping column subtotal. First grouping column subtotals are showing as a 1. Second grouping column. Second grouping column subtotals are showing, okay, 2. So here 2. So first grouping column subtotals are showing as a identity number 1. Second grouping column identities are showing as a 2. Okay, here 2 I was taken. Then third one, after grouping columns are over, then it was showing here third result, third one. So third it represent, okay, the third it represent, it is a grand total representing what now, it is a grand total. So grand total, it was represented. Grand total, it was a represented. Okay. So these are what now guys here like this. Suppose are using three grouping columns are using, then first grouping column subtotal identity number 1, second grouping column subtotal identity number 2, third grouping column subtotal identity number 3, and fourth one showing grand total. Okay, so that means how many grouping columns are there, that each and every grouping column, that each and every grouping column subtotal rows are taking id number 1 and remaining is grand total as per your using of number of columns. Okay, so this is the purpose of this guys. Okay, so it is a more easiest way, more compact way to identify your subtotal rows as well as grand total row in the result. Okay, now so that is a, and now we can see how I'm going to using this. Okay, how I'm using this. So up to here as usual I'm taking now, and after count of star, now I'm using grouping underscore id of my columns, the columns I'm passing. How many columns I'm passing here? Two columns I'm passing. DEPT number and comma job. And from EMP table as usual, then you have to use guys here group by. Okay, so cube, okay, cube or roll up, whatever, okay, cube, and here I'm passing DEPT number comma job. Okay, so if you want to send order by, so give it your DEPT number. And now let you see what it was happen. Observe. So what it was happen, carefully observe guys. So this is department number column, this is job column, these are counting of numbers and grouping id representation. See carefully, if you identified here in this. Now first column, what is first column here? I was given here department number is first column. So first column, okay, first grouping column, so first grouping column subtotal row id number showing as a 1. Okay, first grouping column, see carefully, first grouping column subtotal, this is subtotal, yes or no, this is your subtotal. So the first grouping column subtotal row showing as a 1, first grouping column subtotal row showing as a 1. Okay, understand now, this is what, and remaining all are zeros, only subtotals only identified. And second one is what now, this is second grouping column. Second grouping column is what now, jobs. This is first grouping column DEPT number, second grouping column jobs. And can you see every job subtotal, these are all are called as a subtotals, and these subtotals are showing id number. So second grouping column subtotals are showing as a id number showing as a 2. Second grouping column subtotal rows are identified with the second number with the 2. And finally grand total row, this is your grand total row. So this grand total row id showing with the 3, showing with the 3, just these are what now id. So when you see here 0 0 are there, 0 0 means nothing, these are normal. Wherever 1 is there, then you can identify, okay, one row is a subtotal, this is 1, that means this is a subtotal, this is a subtotal, this is a subtotal, and here 1 is representing, so this is a subtotal. So it is easy identification. So now your numbers are there, so that means these are all are 2 4 3 1 4, these are all are subtotal. And finally 14, the 14 row is showing as a third number. Okay, so now this is just identification, just we are identifying what is my subtotal row and what is my grand total rows. So that row subtotal rows grand total row identification purpose only we are using grouping id function, otherwise no need, not necessary. Okay now, so these are what we called as guys here clauses. These are what we called as guys here clauses. Okay na, right? So this is what we called as guys, clear, right? And the next one, so these are clauses, and up to now guys, whatever we discuss the concepts in SQL, these are all are called as a basic concepts, and that means up to here. Okay, so clauses, functions, operators, before operators, whatever we discuss, this is completely fundamentals of SQL language. So these are fundamentals. If you have a good knowledge and having good idea or having good awareness on these fundamental concepts, okay, then you can easily understand your main concepts now. Okay now, so now up to now all fundamentals of SQL in Oracle we completed. All fundamentals of SQL, okay, in Oracle we completed, and now we started main concepts one by one. So that means from now onwards, every day every concept is a important and main concepts. Okay, my point, understand all of you? From now onwards, every concept is important for you, and main concepts we started. And in this main concepts also, we are using clauses, we are using functions, we are using operators, we are using queries, DQL queries, DDL queries, all we are using. So that means these all fundamentals help we are taking to do the next level of operations, to do the next level of operations. Understand my point now, right? So now in the main concepts, one of the main concept is called as what now, joins. It's one of the major and very important concept. Okay now, basically joins are why we want to use, and the purpose of joins is what, generally if anybody having a doubt, why these joins we need to use it now. So joins basically we are using guys here. As of now, whatever the database operations we done, that every operation we done based on single column data operations we done. Only one column data, there's a one table data operations we done. Okay, only one table operations we done. But here guys, if you want to use, okay, if you want to use, okay, or if you want to perform some operations on multiple tables data, on multiple tables data, so definitely there we required a joins mechanism. So that's why joins mechanism especially we are going to be using whenever you want to do operation, the database operations on multiple tables, we can use a joins. Okay now, but it's a very important thing is what now, joins are especially we are going to be used for retrieval purpose only. Which purpose here? Retrieval purpose only we can use. Other than retrieval, we can't use any other operations. Okay now, we can't do any other operations. Okay, so that's why the people what they will say, joins are used to retrieve the required data, retrieve the required data, the required data or information, data or information from multiple tables, from multiple tables at a time. Okay, from multiple tables at a time. So whenever you want to retrieve your required information, okay, from multiple tables, so at this moment we required a joins technique. So simply somebody is saying that joins is a one of the technique. So by using of this technique or by using of this mechanism, how to retrieving your necessary data from multiple tables. So that technique was given by people in this join. Okay now, so now this is what we call. But these joins guys here, these joins are again, joins are again, okay, it was again classified into, or again, so the joins can be otherwise, instead of joins again means, okay, instead of that we need to take, right, joins can be written, joins can be written in into two ways, guys. Into two ways. Carefully observe. Joints can be written into two ways. Okay. So in this first one is called as non-ANSI format joints is the first one. Non-ANSI format joints, and this non-ANSI format joints are simply we called as a, these are Oracle 8i version joints we can call. Okay now, so these joints are okay, which joints here we called as non-ANSI format. These are called as Oracle 8i joints we call. That means old version joints. Okay, this is 8i we call. Okay now, and these joints are in this, again we have some types that is called as a equi joint. Second one is called as a non equi joint. Third one is called as a self joint. Okay, these are the things what we call. And second way to write here, that is called as a ANSI format, ANSI format joints, and these joints are called as the latest version, that is called a Oracle 9i joints we called. 9i version joints we called. Okay now, so in this ANSI format of joints, which will comes here means first one we called as a inner joint, second one we called as a outer joint, and in this outer joint first one is called as a left outer joint, second one is called as a right outer joint, and the third one is called as a full outer joint. Okay, these are what, and next one we called as ear cross joint, and finally we called as ear natural joint. So these are the complete joints, guys, here. So here the joints is what now, cross joint. Okay, cross joint and natural joint. And even though somebody is saying that okay, cross joint is also called as what now, Cartesian joint also we can, Cartesian joint also we can call. Okay, Cartesian joint also we can call. Okay, so these are what we called as here total joints, guys. But here non-ANSI we called it is a old style format also we can say, old style format also we can say, and these are introduced in Oracle 8i version, it was introduced. So that's why these are called as a old joints, or else 8i version joints also can take. From Oracle 9i version, there was introduced another new style format that is called as a ANSI, American National Standard Institution. Okay, now, so these people officially introduced joints, and non-ANSI means it is a third party statements. These are the third party. It is a non-official statements we call. Okay, these joints are introduced by third party people, not ANSI people. And ANSI means American National Standard Institution people was introduced here officially, these joints, and that's why these joints present from Oracle 9i version. From Oracle 9i version, almost everyone using ANSI format joints only in their real-time applications. Okay, so non-ANSI format joints are maximum the people was avoided, and everyone using ANSI in the later from Oracle 9i versions still now latest versions we are using ANSI format joints only we are using. Okay now, that is what, and this is what we called as, guys, here two ways. That means joint statements can be written. That means I'm going to writing these joint statements in two ways I can write. One is old style format I can write, that is called a non-ANSI, or else Oracle 8i joints also we can say. Second one is called as the ANSI format joins. These are called the latest joins we call. Otherwise, we can say Oracle 9i version joins also we can say. So in these two ways we can write. Okay, but one more difference is there. The difference is what now? Observe. Here, carefully observe the points. When we retrieve, when we retrieve data from multiple tables based on where clause condition, based on where clause condition, then okay, condition is called as okay, non-ANSI non-ANSI format joins we called, non-ANSI format joins we called. And second one is what now? When we retrieve, data from multiple tables, okay, with the with the on clause condition, with on clause condition, then it is called as then we called as then we called as ANSI, then we called as ANSI format joins. Okay, so this is one important, guys, very okay. The differences, if anybody asks you, okay, so what is ANSI and what is non-ANSI means, this is one basic and it's a very important and main point here. So non-ANSI format joins or non-ANSI format statements are always it can be join the tables and retrieving the data from multiple tables based on where clause condition only. Okay, now but non-ANSI joins we cannot implement by using of on clause. So on clause is not supported here, supporting only where clause. Okay, now and same as it is, ANSI format joins cannot be implemented with the where clause, cannot be implemented with the where class. Okay, now so that is one difference is there. So ANSI joins we cannot implement with the where class, non-ANSI joins we cannot implement with the on class. Okay, now this is one difference. And what is the advantage of ANSI joins means, it's a very important is what now? ANSI joins, one of the main advantage of ANSI join is okay, is a compatibility we call. Okay, so what is the main advantage of this one means compatibility, otherwise we can say portability, okay, now you can observe the note point. Okay, the advantage is of ANSI joins or format ANSI format joins, okay, or what now, it is are supporting portability. So what is the mean by portability? Can you anybody guess it? What is the mean by portability? Come on guys, anyone, any guessing? What is the mean by portability? Any guessing, all of you? Yes, so portability is nothing but okay, we can execute ANSI format join statements in any operating system. Okay now, so that is the main advantage of ANSI. But non-ANSI statements are, non-ANSI joint statements are, we cannot move from one operating system to another operating system. So that's why the problem is what now here. Suppose those queries, non-ANSI statements, suppose are you written or you developed in a Windows operating system, then the same to same query statements, same to same join statement I can't use in another operating system. That will be not supported. But ANSI, the main why the people was introduced ANSI format joins. If anybody asking question, why we need a ANSI, why the people was introduced ANSI means the main reason what now portability here. Portability means what? Okay, observe. It means that, okay, it means that, it means that, okay, we can, it means that we can move, we can move, okay, queries, that means join queries. We can move join statements, okay, join statements from one database, from one database, okay, one database to an other, and other database, and other database, okay, other database without, without any, without any changes, without any changes, okay, as it is, as it is, as it is, the query, the statements as it is, the query or statements can be executed, can be executed in other database, in other database, okay now. So yeah, portability means what it was happened. So any platform, how we can say same to same, your ANSI joint statements can executed in any database. For example, SQL Server, okay, it is a one database. Oracle is a one database. Okay now, when you want to return ANSI in Oracle database ANSI statement, without changes, without modifications, directly that query, that statement of query I can execute into SQL Server database also. Okay, so that means ANSI statement, ANSI joint query statement, we can execute into any database platform, either Oracle platform, either SQL Server database platform, either MySQL platform. So any database is supported. I can directly, the statement will be copy and paste into other database. So this kind of portabilities are supported in ANSI. But non-ANSI, what happened? This kind of the support was not there. So if you're writing non-ANSI in Oracle, if that statement do you want to execute into SQL Server or any other database, then we need to do some modification. Then we need to do some changes. Then only executed. Otherwise, it is not executed. So without the modification, without the changes, as it is, your joint query statements do you want to execute into one to another database. So that was ANSI only supporting. This is the one of the main cause. If anybody asks you what is the need of ANSI, why we want to introduce ANSI format joins in database, mean this is the main point you have to tell to your interview person. One is where class, on class is a one difference. Second one is what? No, non-ANSI joins are not a portability, not supporting portability, but ANSI format joins are supporting portability. Suppose your join is a non-ANSI join, then that query should be changed or modified, then only execute into other databases. But ANSI join statement queries are no need to modification, no need to changes, as it is query you can write into other database executed. Okay now, so this is the main point of your ANSI. So all of you clear now? right? And now later the people was introduced here. Okay, the syntax for non-ANSI and ANSI, let you check. So first I'm giving syntax, it can be understood. Syntax for non-ANSI joins, that is what now, select star from table name 1 comma table name 2 comma, okay, table name 2, and which condition I said, where clause condition. So where, here I need to give a joining condition. Okay, now this is non-ANSI joins syntaxes. Non-ANSI join syntaxes means which one? Equi join, non-equi join, self join. Okay, so any join, equi, non-equi, self, equi, non-equi, self, any join, but the join should be implemented by using of this syntax. Okay, now next one is what now? ANSI. Syntax for ANSI joins. Syntax for ANSI joins. So now syntax carefully identify the difference what it is. Observe. So now here also I'm passing table name 1, and here compulsory we should give a join key, compulsory we should give. So table name 1 join key, and after table name 2, okay, after that here which condition I said? On clause condition. So joining condition we called. Okay, so now the syntax is all of you clear now? Come on guys, all of you clear up to here? So all of you clear now? Okay, right. So this is not ANSI and ANSI syntaxes. Okay, now, right. And now let me check out. So one by one, I will show you. Okay, so first thing is observe the first join. We will discuss about the equi join. Okay, so basically, what is equi join means? Equi join. So that means when we retrieve data from multiple tables, okay, based on an equal operator. And which operator? An equal operator. So whenever you want to retrieving data from multiple tables based on an equal operator. Okay, so that means in equi join, I can use to join the tables. With what operator? With which operator I can join the tables means only equal operator. With the help of equal operator only, we can join the tables data and retrieve. So that's why it is called the equi join. Okay, now, and this is one point should be remember, guys. And then when you want to use equi join on multiple tables to retrieval purpose, here there is one thing is there. Okay, what is that means? When we use equi join, see every point is carefully observed. Your interview level points these are. So when we use equi join on tables, okay, then we should have okay, we should have at least at least okay, at least one common column, at least one common column should be there. Or you should have at least one common column in both the tables. This is Second point. That means when you want to use equijoin on multiple tables, guys, first what you need to identify here, in those tables, is there any common column is there or not there? You have to check. Okay, so what my point is, when you want to use equijoin on some tables, okay, some tables are there in front of you, some tables are there. So on those tables, now you planning like that, you need to perform some equijoin operations. So before you want to use or plan to use for equijoin on those tables, my first thought is in my mind, what I need to check means, first I need to check those tables are having a common column is there or not, you have to check. That is the first task for you to use your equijoin. Okay, and once it was there a common column, nothing problem. If it is not there, then you have to make it. Okay, second one is what now, whatever we said common column, okay, this common column data type must be same or must be match in both the tables, guys. Okay, in both tables. Suppose common column is there, then immediately you have to check that common column data types are having same or not, that you have to check it. Okay, now these are the things, these are the two things you should remember. And third point is what now, somebody having a question, somebody having a question. What is a somebody question and somebody doubt or somebody questioning to you in your interview panel? Okay, we have it two tables now. So we have it two tables now. We have it two tables now. So we are joins we are using for retrieving the data. Joins are used for retrieving the data from multiple tables, we said. So this is table 1 and this is table number 2. Okay, so two tables I have to retrieve. So many people are having a doubt is what now? Sir, we are retrieving data from two tables. We are retrieving data from two tables. Yes, by using of join. So that means if I want to retrieve data from multiple tables by using of joins, is it necessary? Is it necessary to have a these two tables are, is it necessary to have a relationship, is have a relationship? So this kind of a doubt is coming to you. Yes or no? Sir, when I want to retrieve data from multiple tables by using of joins technique, by using of joins technique, is it mandatory? Is it mandatory to have those tables in relationship? Is it mandatory to have a relationship in between tables? Okay, so this kind of a question somebody is asking to you. Somebody is asking to you. So what you say, no need. No need. So that means what we can go for to do it here. When you want to use equijoin, okay, or any join, when we use equijoin or any join, equi or any join, okay, in between in between in between tables, in between tables, then then there is a no need to have a, there is no need to have a relationship. There is no need to have a relationship. Okay, so there is no need to have a relationship between tables, between tables. Okay, now so here relationship is not a mandatory, it is a, yes, optional, you can say it is a optional. So that means if your tables are having relationship, nothing problem, you can access your data. Your table is not, your tables are not having relationship, even though nothing problem, you can retrieve your data. So that means in between tables, relationship is not a mandatory here. The relationship is a just for optional. Either having relation, you can retrieve your data. Either your relation is not there, even though I can retrieve the data. Understand my point now? So your relationship not a mandatory. It is a just a optional, we can say. Okay now? Right. So these are the points, guys, you should remember whenever you want to working with the equation. Understand now? So these points are minimum requirements and minimum points here to remember it. All of you clear now? Right. And later, this equijoin, how it was using on your tables, whether this all points are we have to satisfied or not, or we have it or not, so that all we will check in the practical one by one example wise. One by one example wise, I will check to you. Okay now? So I stop it here, guys. And tomorrow we will see some examples of equijoins, okay, and how these points will be identified in your tables. Okay, right, guys. Thank you so much. Good night, guys. Take care.